Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 14 of The Unexpected Heiress. And in this chapter, we come really close to solving Amelia's murder mystery. So, what happened in the last chapter, as of the last chapter, right at the end, the ambassador really reveals some fiery secrets about Vincent that Jennings used to work for Vincent before he started working for the ambassador, and Vincent was the one who recommended Jennings to this ambassador. And also, the ambassador claimed that Vincent is not a goody two shoes, and Vincent was involved with far shadier deeds in India than ambassador. And Jennings helped him, and also Vincent was also part of those briberies that the ambassador took or did some dirty stuff in India, or maybe perhaps in Lucknow, because they were really uncomfortable when we mentioned the name Lucknow earlier at the time of poker game. But now in this chapter we see we're discussing with Effie. Effie says the ambassador and Mr. Jennings, they left Barrington Gemma Montjoy's hospitality. Really, they were grumpy and they were not happy. So definitely after being torched and getting their pulses fingered by our main character, they have left it ashamed, and of course, what wouldn't they after what they did? But Vincent probably got alarmed by them because Vincent is also planning to leave. But we get some dirt, on Vincent. We will get in this diamond scene to play as Effie, and we will talk with one of the Rebecca's maid to get some information out of her, because how so the classic maids are portrayed here of that time, like they want to gossip with other maids. So Effie goes and talks with that maid and learns when they're planning to leave and about the picnic, and like what in a drawer what this Hunsberry hides, Vincent hides, and how shady all those things could be, or how secret those things are. And then Effie tells all those informations to our main characters. Our main character gets a head start. And then also we go to this beautiful picnic, but we learn that Vincent was too drunk to come there, so he was taking a rest. Definitely he knew about our main character sort of interfering with ambassador and fingering their pulses, so he's definitely afraid and he's trying to leave and avoid everyone. But the picnic spot that Lady Jama took us, it was really serene. I mean, the view was beautiful, and then we get to spend some time with Lady Jama and others there. But that was not really our focus. We waited there, but Monjoy, I'm sorry, not Monjoy, Hunsberry, Vincent, he didn't show up. So we try to go there, and you get to choose your love interest here, who you want to go with, because a confession will be in queue. It was between John and Hughes. Technically, I would say I went with John, but even though I would say, like, John got a lot of screen time in this book as a love interest, so he was definitely the main love interest. But after that, Lady Jama got a lot of screen time, but I felt like Hughes didn't get the screen time he needed. Maybe because Hughes doesn't belong from this social parameter, the social sort of hierarchy, and he is not someone of their ranking. But I think we should have, I know he can't hold parties or invite guests, but I think there should have been a little bit more light. They should have shedded more light on Hughes, because I like their character as much as I like John or Gemma. Anyway, matter of the fact, I chose John, and with John we go to Hunsberry's Vincent's room. But we see, through the keyhole, we see he was on the bed and he was definitely sleeping because he was really drunk. And then we got to know from his footman that within 1 hour he will be joining the picnic. And then we get a diamond scene, and we go to the balcony. We see very awesome view of the picnic spot. We have some heart to heart with John, which I really liked, and we share a little kissing. We have a kissing scene there, so we share a kiss. And then also we talk about the tragedy that John had in his life, and I kind of felt good because both main character and John had some tragedy in their life, but over a common ground they're coming closer, and then finally John is getting someone, but it's complicated with the fake marriage scenario with Frances. So we sort of get interrupted by Effie because Effie informs us that ahead of his schedule, Vincent has joined the picnic. But when we go outside, we see everyone is returning from the picnic because the rain had started and it interrupted the picnic. But we corner Vincent alone. So no one was around there, and we start confronting him. Yeah, before that also, even before we go there, we when Vincent was gone, we were snooping inside his room. So I forgot that part. Before we confronted Vincent, John was guarding, or Hughes, depending on who you chose. They will be guarding the steps, the door of Vincent's room, and you will go inside and you will do some snooping. So you will see he has this a suitcase that Effie got to know from Rebecca's maid, and there will be nothing special in the suitcase, but there will be a hidden passageway, so secretly hidden, and you will open it and you will get letters, and you will get to guess the password also. So it would be a 7 letter pass name. It could have been, I chose a name of Rebecca and Hunsberry's son, or so I thought at that time. It started with B. Bernard, yeah, Bernard. Excuse me. And then I opened it, and then we were also wondering why Bernard is that person as a son, because Bernard was not the elder son, and probably elders get sort of the privileges like their name or the password, at least in the old time. Nowadays it's younger, but anyway, without going off the topic, so we had a nagging suspicion that why Bernard is the one. And then we see the dirty laundry of Vincent. We see there is some woman in Lucknow. So also John earlier tells us that the watch we won off the poker game from Vincent, there was something written in Hindi on the back. And what was written in Hindi? It was to dad, so, or my father, something like that, along those lines. So that was really interesting. We got to know about that before, but now we see a picture of a woman and a child. They're together, and Vincent is looking into that woman's eyes, and that woman is clearly not Rebecca. So, and we got the letters confirming that Vincent had an affair in India, Lucknow, and that's he also paid a lot of money. A lot of people helped him out of his poor monetary condition. So because it was all hush money, to keep all those things hush hush, so that it doesn't destroy the reputation. Because earlier we got to know they will do anything for propriety. Propriety meant everything, like they will do dirty things behind the closet, behind closed doors, but they will not bring it outside. They will maintain their propriety. And that's what Vincent did. And then we get out of there, we confront Vincent alone with the letters, we press on him, and also in those letters it was pretty damning when we found out Vincent wrote that the American problem is taken care of, or was taken care of, something depending on when he wrote it, maybe after Amelia died, or will be taken care of, something like that. So definitely he was talking about Amelia, and we guess it's Vincent. Vincent killed Amelia. So we press on him with all the evidence that he sent Jennings to Amelia. He also, through Jennings, sent threatening letters to Amelia, one after another. The bastard son he has. Also, he, his affair, sort of illicit wife, or the person he loves back in Lucknow, and then he loses it. He completely gets mad and he starts saying, "You don't know what you're talking about. I clearly didn't kill Amelia," and he's continues denying the fact. And then everyone comes, and then Rebecca almost clutches her heart because she was going to have a heart attack, because when she came to know that her husband cheated on her and had an affair and also a child, literally. That was really dramatic there, but that's where it ends. And then the next chapter description says, with the mystery solved. And like I said before, it's now the mystery solved as they're claiming, but the next two chapters are going to focus on our marriage life. Francis is clearly not who we're going to marry. It's going to be between our love interests. So we're going to choose them. We're going to convince everyone that we're going to marry them instead of Francis. It's going to be a lot, but I would like to mention a few things here. First of all, related to Francis, I mean, we get a scene here where Francis tells us Francis will take care of the charity works that Amelia used to do. That just goes on to show how deeply Francis loved Amelia. And even after her death, Francis is doing something that will cherish her memories. That is just a sweet and a good follow up from their relationship. It's really sad that Francis is not going to have the person he loved so much beside him, but that was a really significant scene. And then we also say like he needed to dump some of his responsibilities to John, but we tell him that maybe we should talk with John first if he wants to take the responsibility or not. But that was really significant. The relationship between Amelia and Francis, how deep it was, and also with the murder, I think Vincent. I mean, he is definitely not the person I thought he would be. I thought he would be a different person, specifically after the dinner table fiasco. But he was clearly the guy who was hiding, the dead body sort of under, under the cloth. But, yep, I still have a nagging suspicion that it's not Vincent. Like, yeah, it could be Vincent, but I think like Vincent, it's not like he's not probably the, he could have, or like, like the main culprit. Maybe Vincent is just one who did it, or maybe just like Nicolay, or there is someone still. I have a feeling because there's still there's still two chapters left, and I know one of you commented that could it be like this? Like we solved the mystery, Vincent, we've got him, and you think like, okay, the murder is solved, and then when we will be getting married, then someone tries to, like kill us or something happens. Like, oh no, you are the killer. Maybe who was with Vincent, or maybe who is the real killer, something like that. I think I see that happening because I don't think it's completely Vincent. Yeah, maybe Vincent did have some role, or maybe Vincent is a bad person but not a killer. Anything's possible, but this is definitely going to be interesting last two chapters. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I was really excited to read the latest chapter of The Unexpected Heiress, and at this point I would say it is giving a pretty tough competition to Veil of Secrets. I mean, both books are really good mystery. I still think Duffy's revelation was like mind-blowing, but let's see what happens here. And then of course, like this is one of the best mystery books choices have produced this year. And let me know in the comments below how do you think about this and your theories. What do you think? Is Vincent the killer? Do you think it's only Vincent and we're gonna get a happily ever after in the next two chapters? Or do you think there is more to the story, maybe a partner, or maybe Vincent is not the actual killer, or maybe there's more killers than just one? What do you think is going on? But the journey, it has been quite crazy. I mean, we suspected a lot of people, the butler, the housekeeper, Francis. We at one point we doubted Hughes. We doubted Amelia had an affair. Like the ambassador Jeanings. Like we've come a long way, and now we're finally, we have solved the mystery, Vincent. But could there be another twist to the plot, twist in the story? Well, only time will tell on that. Next 2 weeks are going to be very important. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.